Hi everyone, my name is Asad Mahmood and he is Nadeem Hussain. We are the designatories of aggrieved asylum seekers of Ireland, and we are sharing a problem today with you guys. We actually are being threatened by IPAS, International Protection Accommodation Services, to be evicted from here to some emergency accommodation. Actually, there was a meeting with the residents of an IPAS, you can say designatory. He was here. He had meeting with loads of asylum seekers here in the Kinsale Road Accommodation Center, Cork, and basically, in a verbal way, he threatened some of us to be evicted from here to some emergency accommodation, and they were just wanting us to move out of here. But the problem is, in current scenario, the housing situation is very dire and there are no houses outside. Even on rent there are no houses. Like, number of houses which are available for rent is limited in Ireland, and the new people who are coming to Ireland, they are living in crammed rooms and crammed houses. The situation is very dire. I would like to share here the tweet of a Dublin TD, Cian O'Callaghan, who said that like 18 people in one house paying €830 each per month, and they are basically sharing rooms with each other. So I'm just telling you the situation. This is the statement of one of the TDs in Dublin, and in the same way, the new asylum seekers who are coming, they are being crammed into rooms and hotel rooms and these kind of places. So in such kind of scenario, when there is no space available in all of the Ireland, IPAS designatory should not have said that to us, that we would be evicted from here to another emergency accommodation. I just want to know, we are already living in this accommodation where we are living right now. This is an emergency accommodation. We live here until we get our papers sorted, and then according to the availability of the houses outside, we are moved out. But the problem is, the HAP assistance is very minor, very meager, so which is unable to support the rents which are currently in the market. And in such kind of situation, it is very hard for us to find a place where we could go and we can afford.
Many of the people knows, many NGOs have told that asylum seekers who got the papers, they will get the HAP approval. If they are eligible, they can go to the social housing in the list. Everybody knows. And when I go and when IPAS came to me, there was no letter issued. And before issuing letter, he is calling me and telling me that, yeah, you got papers, so you have a JNIB? I said, yes. I said, I have applied for my letter, social letter, for approval letter. Okay, when it will become, then you have to see your house and all. So that's not called a logic, because as in logic, any person who has applied of social housing, if they are making some backlogs or something, after coming of later everything and IID, then he used to call us and he have to speak something. But the problem is there is no house.
So basically, Nadeem is saying that the housing has been promised to us. We are eligible for housing, social housing. That has been promised to us by the government. But the list is very long and there is a backlog. Still, that promise is there, and the responsibility of providing a house is on the government. And we are trying to find a house on HAP, but it is difficult. There is another thing which we want to talk about. Recently, the social welfare minister have made a statement that the people who are on social welfare, they can basically charge up to €14,000 a month for a room. If they rent out a room in their house, they can charge €14,000 a year. If you divide it over 12 months, then basically it comes around to 1,100 something euros per month for one room. So basically, Minister Heather Humphrey is basically advising people encouraging people to charge higher rents, and what kind of help they are providing to the people who are in need of housing is like in Cork they are providing 600, 550 and 550 euros or 600 euros for a single person, and in Dublin I think around 900 they are providing as a help. So how do you expect people to meet this kind of criteria when you are already setting the bar very high? You are basically telling people to charge higher rents, and you are providing meager help assistance. So people have to like fill the difference from their own pocket, but still the job market is not paying enough, and the minimum wage is 10 euro 50 cents, and there are many people who are only getting minimum wage, and there are many other people in Ireland who are basically in the process of right now getting their nationality done through the scheme, but they are working cash in hand, and they are basically getting like 3 euros per hour or 4 euros per hour. So job market is very hard, and the incomes are not very high. In such kind of situation, the threat of the official to evict us asylum seekers from here, where we are living in a cramped situation. You can see the situation here. Look at the room. This is our stuff here. This is our stuff, and this is the other roommate. This is his bed, and our whole stuff is here in one room. This is our whole house. Like, we have all of our stuff in this one room, and you can see how we stuffed our luggage here, all of our stuff in one room, and we are sharing these rooms with each other. So this is an emergency accommodation, and the IPAS official basically threatened us to move to another emergency accommodation which will be less equipped and less facilitated. I don't know what is the meaning of less facilitation means. I don't know what would that be like. So I have this request to make, that please government should look into the thing, look into the matter. The people who have got their status cleared, they are in need of housing, and our situation should not be degraded from here. Like, we are already living in an emergency accommodation, and don't put us into a homeless accommodation where you think it would be reasonable for us to move out to. We have our jobs here. Either move us to another reasonable accommodation if you want to move us. Either give us proper housing situation where at least we can get one room for one person. I'm just saying, I know the situation that there are no houses, there are no room, but you already know, everyone knows that in such kind of situation, building a pressure on asylum seekers who have got papers, who have their jobs here. So in such kind of situation, we have like kind of our life set up here, and you cannot just like make us jobless and homeless at the same time. So my request is, please look into the matter. Government officials, government designators, everyone should look into the matter, and please sort out the housing issue for the people who have got status in the asylum accommodation, so they can be moved out as quickly as possible. But this is not an easy problem to be solved. You know, I know, and everyone knows that. So these kind of threats should not be made to the people. The verbal threats which was made by the IPAS official in the Kinsale Road accommodation, this kind of threats should not be made, and they should not think that like if they are gonna make these kind of threats, then we would not say anything back to them. This is not our personal issue, this is everyone's issue, this is every Irish citizen's issue. Housing is a big problem here, so this is not my personal problem, this is not anyone's personal problem, this is a bigger issue than us. So the threats should not be made to us. They should not be threatening us to make us homeless or jobless. If they move me from here, I am having no job. If they move me from here to another emergency accommodation which is less facilitated, then I'm basically already homeless, living in a homeless life, in a homeless situation here, and I will be moved to another homeless situation. So please don't do that to us, and don't threaten us Please make arrangements, do the needful which is supposed to be done, do the things which are supposed to be done. Don't threaten us. We are already downtrodden, we are already basically poor class of the society, the asylum seekers. So this is our request, humble request. Please listen to our voices, and I thank you very much if you have watched the video in whole. Thank you very much from me and Nadeem Hussain. Thank you very much.